Hey, yo, like the video, man. YouTube. What's good, YouTube? It is your boy, LowkeyyNoel. You dig what I'm saying? I'm coming back at y'all with another video, you dig? And in today's video, I'm gonna bring back another installment. Now I know I posted this video already, but because the way YouTube is, like, I don't think too much people was able to see that video. It was pretty long anyway, so I don't really mind. But you know, after seeing part 2, you're gonna see part 1. But I decided to make this installment kind of like a little series that I'm gonna make, where I call it hard pills to swallow. Pretty much a hard pill to swallow is pretty much like the bad scenarios that happen in life, but that are necessary to happen. Like it's like when you get a reality check. So it's like things that you didn't think was supposed to be this way, you know, because you expect everything to be easy, but sometimes they're not gonna be easy. Sometimes you need that information and those experiences to grow better as a person. And sometimes that's why I call it like a hard pill to swallow, because a lot of people haven't gone through it. A lot of people went through it in a deep way, but regardless of the fact, good or bad, it's gonna help you develop as a person. And in some cases, these are some things that are inevitably going to happen. Therefore, they're called the hard pills to swallow, because sometimes it's hard to accept the fact that this is how it has to happen, but this is how it has to happen. Anyways, today in this video, I'm going to be doing a hard pills to swallow part 2, and I'm gonna be laying down the groundwork, you know what I'm saying? But before we start the video, if you are new to the channel, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't be dumb as hell. Click that bell. Turn on post notifications so you can get notified every single video. Anyways, let's get straight to it. So, first hard pill to swallow: stop giving excuses for people or situations outside of yourself when things don't go your way. Ooh, that is a tongue twister. So pretty much what I mean by that statement is, sometimes in life we tend to put the blame, put the reasonings for something not happening in our lives onto someone else or onto some type of external factor. And I say to stop giving an excuse for that, because sometimes in life it's gonna take, you know what I'm saying, like sometimes in life it's not going to be them. Like they're not, like when you really deeply look at it from another perspective, they're not going to be the reason why you didn't do what you did. And if you fall so, like, you know, if you get so dependent on that feeling that you need this person, you need that in order to get something done, you will probably never get shit done in your life, or you will kind of stay at this, you know, stagnation, but you'll never like overcome, you know, the hurdle. Like, you know, you never reach the next milestone because you're steady staying in that same position, because you're talking about you can't do this, or this didn't work out because of this person. But you know, you have a choice at the end of the day. So it's like you have to sometimes not give the excuse, you know what I'm saying? You have to be aware of why you would give the excuse, of course, but you can't do that, because that's just gonna keep you stuck in a certain place, and it'll be hard to escape that. And then it starts messing with you mentally, and then now it's like you can't move from point A to point C, because you're like, you know what I'm saying, you're like A, B, and you know, you're not even fully in B, but you're kind of in B, and you're kind of in A, but you're not fully in A. Like you're trying to bridge that gap, but it's like you just can't, because you keep letting your excuses dictate your actions. And as long as you do that, you won't grow, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you have to just take the leap and do what you need to do. If you want to start something new, if you want to do this or that, you can't be like, oh, this person thinks it's a dumb idea, this person doesn't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, say you want to do YouTube and be like, oh, I want to make this YouTube video, but like, I want my friends to be in the video. If your friend don't want to do the video, if they busy working, if they just can't or they're not interested, that should not be a reason for you to stop making videos. You know what I'm saying? If you want to like do all these collabs and shit, like that shouldn't be what stops you. You feel me? Like you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going regardless. You feel me? And within time, people will gravitate towards it. And sometimes, and it's not even just for that. I'm talking about like anything. Like I mean, like even like trying to, you know, get a promotion at a job, or you know what I'm saying, like just trying something new. Like you just can't let excuses stop you from getting to the next level of your life. You feel me? So you can't let external situations like dictate your actions. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. So let's go to part 2. The second hard pill to swallow is you need to start planning your life as early as possible. I know to some people this seems like obvious advice, but you got to take it with a grain of salt. Now I know we all know we need to get our life together. We've known this since we was kids or in middle school and stuff. But I'm talking about you really need to plan your life. Like you got to envision it as if like that's your lifestyle. Not on some, I'm gonna do this, maybe this will work, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's like you gotta really know what you're going to do, like in a detailed way. Like if somebody were to ask you, like say you was getting interviewed and stuff, like how are you gonna finance your house? You know what I'm saying? Like how much do you expect to pay on your house? How much do you expect to annually buy and stuff like that? What I mean is like, there's a lot of things we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be 18 below watching this video, you can be 21, 20, heck, you can even be like 27 and probably, you know, still living with your peeps and not really knowing what's the next step. And sometimes that whole, because you know, with social media, we feel like we're in such a rush. You know what I'm saying? You probably see some of your friends, you probably even see some people 2, 3, 4 grades below you, and like you probably just seen people like younger than you, you know, driving like the newest cars, you know, buying all this jewelry and drip and all that. But that has nothing to do with you. Your path is your path, you feel me? And knowing that, it's like you just need to start doing research into, you know, fiscal things and financial literacy, you know, try to gain knowledge in that area and do what you need to do, whether you need to be frugal and learn minimalistic traits in order to keep your money, to save your money, and also learn some investing advice so you can also learn how to expand your money more in different ways to earn passive income, residual income, you know what I'm saying? But even not just on the money life, like just really every area in your life that you feel that you lack in, like you just have to really focus and hone your energy into realizing what do you need to do. Think of yourself as your future self, perfect version of you. What your life is like, what's your routine, what do you eat, how do you sleep, all that kind of stuff. And just think about all the little things you do. And I'm not gonna lie, this is the hardest part, man. It's like, it's a lot for this self journey, you know what I'm saying? Because you might not, like your finance might not be right, like your fitness might not be right. Heck, you might not even know what you're gonna do with your life. You might, you know, not be the smartest person at the given time, but I'm telling you, go out your way to do some research, because you know YouTube got straight game, you know what I'm saying? Google, just do like a deep dive and you're gonna find something for you. But you definitely need to plan out your life, because the world is only getting worse, and you know, we need to like expand our horizons on like you know, how are we going to improve in different ways. And also another thing, I don't think everyone's version of improvement or whatever is going to correspond with the other person, you know what I'm saying? Someone's workout routine is probably not going to correspond to your workout routine, or vice versa and stuff like that. That doesn't mean their shit is not going to help you. It's just, I feel like for every individual human being, sometimes our body, brain, and like just the way we do physical activities kind of differs from one another. So try to take something from everyone, but at the same time, with that knowledge, use that to form your own judgment, to form your own habits, routines, and the way that you just make moves. But it's very important to plan out your life so you can be set, so you can, you know, be able to provide for your family, your future partner, you know what I'm saying? Like just have everything in your life in like full swing. And it's good to plan it out now, you know what I'm saying? Because even if you like in your mid to late 20s, bro, it's not too late, bro, the fact that you have the self-awareness that you need to improve that shit, now you just gotta do the research in order to just make it happen, you feel me? And even if it's small steps, even if it's gonna take 3 consecutive years with straight focus or 5 consecutive years with straight focus, at the end of the day, it's still gonna be worth it. Think about it as if, like, you know what I'm saying, I know unforeseen circumstances happen, but say for example, it is guaranteed that you're going to live to 80 to 100, bro. Devoting 5 years of your life for self-improvement and to be in like the best place possible, you know, your house good, you know, clothes on your back, food good, you know, you gotta settle with your girl, you know what I'm saying, kicking back in the house, and you know what I'm saying, like your kids straight, your family straight, your friends straight, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's all through planning, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit just don't just happen, you feel me? Like, you really had to plan it out, and that's like a hard pill to swallow, because sometimes we get too into the mix of like having fun, and we put pleasure over purpose and priority. And because of that, sometimes we kind of stay stuck and we get super stressed with all the life and the bills and stuff. Remember, bills, when you get to that point, especially when, you know, with credit or buying a house or a car and everything, bills are inevitable. That's why you need to plan out. You need to start realizing, what is the estimate of money that I'm gonna spend on this certain bill? How much is that gonna equate to throughout the span of a year in every single category? And due to that planning, you could split your money for each of these things. So even as you're gaining money, you put in small chunks and portions into those said bills. So now you don't have to really worry in the future. And that's what I mean by planning. Sometimes you have to sacrifice the fun and pleasure, the pleasure and priority for your purpose. And that way you have less stress as you go through life, because these things are inevitable, but you can make the change by making a plan. Now let's move on to the third hard pill to swallow. I've been rambling too much. The third hard pill to swallow is sometimes you are going to have to do it alone. I know a lot of people not gonna want to hear this, but sometimes you're gonna have to do it alone. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it is great. It is, like, honestly, networking is so beneficial in life in all different areas, and it can help you in a lot of ways. Like, it can open you to new opportunities, to new experiences, all of that. By this reasoning, I'm not trying to say lock in, just be by yourself, don't hit up no one. That's not what I mean by that. What I mean by sometimes it's gonna take you to, sometimes you gotta do it alone. What I mean by that is sometimes you are going to want to take the step to do something new, to do something that's gonna benefit you or whatever. But sometimes you probably have that lack of confidence due to it not being done yet. You never done it. You probably have no one in your family that's done it. You feel like it could work, but if it all fails, everyone's calling you a failure. And that shame, that feeling of shame is like what's preventing you. It's like, it's kind of, you know, making you like, ah, damn, should I do it or whatever? And it, you know, it could create this sense of fear. But sometimes you could be to a point where, like, man, this plan is foolproof type. But sometimes people aren't gonna be as responsive to your moves. And just because they don't want to do it, don't mean that you gotta stop. Sometimes it's gonna take you doing it alone for it to work. Sometimes it could work out even better. Get yourself established, and once you get yourself established, you can network more, and now everything's gonna be easy. But at least you started it on your own. I think one of the best things that can come off of doing something on your own and starting alone is that, because I've seen this throughout, I'm not gonna really say like friends. I mean, I guess like people I know and like friends, but like it hasn't happened to like me personally. But I've seen through other people where sometimes they started something with someone else, or maybe someone else had put them on to like a new experience, or I don't know, like a new opportunity, a job or whatever, or something, I don't know. But a lot of times people have this tendency where, you know, for like the littlest reasons, there could be a petty argument and everything, you know, they could fall off. They could, you know, one person hates the other, they both hate each other. And within that argument, there's always gonna be that time, or usually, not always, but sometimes there's that time where somebody will be like, hey man, you will never even be where you at if it wasn't for me. Because of me, you wouldn't even be here. Like, you know, like imagine like I did YouTube with somebody, or I started collabing like way before I got monetized and money. And not to say I wouldn't collab or anything, but I'm just saying. And then like maybe I'm getting views with this other person, and then out of nowhere, like we have a small misunderstanding. There's like a switch up, and this person gonna be like, and mind you, like this person, I'm gonna say in the scenario, this person actually made my channel for me type shit, right? And then this person will be like, hey man, don't bite the hand that fed you type John. And they just gonna be like, they just gonna be talking and just be like, hey, you wouldn't have done this if it weren't for me. You wouldn't have had that money if it wasn't for me. You wouldn't have nothing if it wasn't for me. And it's just like, I feel like me personally, I don't want to like ever be in a situation where like somebody like talk to me crazy like that. Cause like, you know what I'm saying? Like they downplaying you like you a bitch. And I don't like that shit. That's why like there's benefits of starting things alone. Cause you can't have that. You self-made. And since you self-made, and if you get success off of being self-made, like that's highly respectable. That's highly respectable. Cause obviously group work can, I ain't gonna lie, group work be hella more efficient, and shit can explode and work even better and faster and more efficiently. But I feel like at the end of the day, bro, it's good to start alone. But if you have a good team that's on the same wave, same mindset, same drive as you, then yeah, group work, networking, hella. Like I'm not trying to bash that. Heck, I feel like even with me doing this YouTube thing, I don't like, there's people I know, like it's like they with the YouTube and stuff, but I just feel like, there's different aspects of yourself as a person where it's like everyone's not gonna be like fully in tune with every aspect of you or every aspect of like your drive or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that's where it like, it gets kind of confusing. So that's why when it comes to YouTube, regardless of the fact of if I have someone in my video or I don't, I'm gonna still make uploads, you know what I mean? So it's like sometimes it's good to do it alone, whether it's in the start or whether it's in the finish. Maybe you had a group and that broke off. You shouldn't like let the legacy die just because like all of y'all didn't see things on the same page. Keep that shit going, especially with YouTube, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Cause you can make money off of what you're doing or whatever, or you could use that to open up a new opportunity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't stop for somebody is pretty much what I'm trying to say. So sometimes, you just gotta be aware of that shit and just know that, just gain that self-confidence, you know what I mean? Like, because when you start accomplishing new things on your own, like that's a different type, bro. That's a different type of feeling, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have like know-it-all type of friends or egotistical people, they gonna have this tendency that if y'all did something together, like they'll probably one day just kind of be like, yeah, you wouldn't have that if it wasn't for me. Though. Like, let's be honest, like where would you be without me? You know what I mean? And like sometimes you don't really, want that. I mean, if y'all got that type of connection, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong either way. I guess it just depends on the person, like how you feel when it comes to that. But sometimes it is gonna take you like starting alone, because you know what I'm saying, you can't let nobody really stop your shine, nobody stop you from like really doing something, you know what I mean? So sometimes if you're scared to take that jump, sometimes just do it alone, you know what I'm saying? If your family doesn't believe in the dreams, your surroundings don't believe in the dreams, just do it, you know what I'm saying? If it fails, it fails, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing, like we just gotta like think of life as if, like just like as we were a kid, bro. When we were a kid, we think we gonna live forever. Why you think we were so non-stressed as kids, bro? We seen life as we're going to live to 100. Now we getting a little stressed because of social media. People driving like too fast, getting the best cars, getting houses at 18. You know what I'm saying? Like while they still the seniors type shit, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's that, and obviously, a lot of people like dying and people getting killed and stuff like that. That obviously makes us feel like we're on this time clock and we gotta, do shit before a certain threshold. But when you don't really worry about that shit, like, just stay focused on your own purpose, and shit might even happen faster than you expect just from focus. 'Cause I feel like a lot of us are unfocused. That's why we always tend to stay in stagnation, or we tend to dwell back or plateau every once in a while. So just stay focused on your path. Anyways, let's get on to the last hard pill to swallow. The last hard pill to swallow is do what you need to demand respect. Now, I say this from the standpoint of being a people pleaser myself. sometimes people respect you, but to a certain degree. And due to that, like, sometimes people ain't gonna hear you out all the way. They gonna hear you, but like they're not listening. You know what I mean? So sometimes you gonna have to put your foot down. Sometimes you gonna have to talk back. You gonna have to be like a little bit more abrasive, just so people can take you serious. Because sometimes people are not gonna take you serious. Sometimes you don't have to be any type of aggression, yelling. You could be like soft-spoken throughout the whole thing. Sometimes you could be calm nature, but sometimes you really just have to demand your respect. Like, you really have to show people who's boss and show them like not to mess with you. Because in this life, I think it's inevitable. People are gonna try you, man. Like, your potential significant other, you know, they gonna try tactics, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could probably end up like with the person and like long-term marry, have kids and all that. But everyone's going to kind of try you. They're gonna like test the waters every time to some degree, just to see what type of person you are. And depending on how you respond to that, it's gonna determine their level of respect. So sometimes, like, that's just what needs to happen.
Ask me if you were someone I should have messed with. To be honest, I don't even know. I just go with the flow, keeping on my hopes. Don't regret what I did.